Hello everyone, today we'll talk about React Native pros and cons of that technology. Today I will not be alone, I have Ramon. He's one of the most easiest person to work with, amazing front-end developer with amazing UI and UX understanding, and I'm happy to have him on board today. So let's jump into it.
Let's go.
So I propose to start with introduction, Ramon, just in few words, who you are, why you are the right person to talk about React Native, so people just get some overall overview about yourself.
Okay, I'm Ramon and I'm a developer and I have more than 3 years experience in Frontend and I did a few React Native projects in my career, so I have something to share with you about.
Cool.
This.
So the next topic, of course, about history of the technology, who created it, what maybe big players are using that technology now. So give some overview.
Okay, React Native. React Native is a cross-platform framework. Its goal is to learn once, write everywhere. So it covers multiple platforms like iOS and Android. So history of it, it started 5 years ago. Facebook released it, and since then they have a lot of times to stabilize the APIs. So right now we have huge companies that uses React Native, which are Microsoft for Skype,
Okay.
and Facebook itself for Instagram, and Facebook Messenger is written in React Native, and also sometime before the Airbnb was using this technology to create their applications.
Yeah, and also Amazon is using it for their like Amazon Prime Video, kind of that stuff. So,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
really big players are using that technology. So
It's really good.
I think that it's time to jump into some plans of that technology in that 2020, what we are waiting for,
Okay.
what maybe new features the Facebook team will release for us in that new year.
Yes, Facebook is trying their best to cover all the APIs that native platforms have. So I think that they will have more coverage overall for the native APIs. And besides that, they will have some improvements in speed. Like recently they announced like new engine, Hermes, for Android speed performance. And also they have a huge competitor, which is Flutter. So they will have to like move quickly and do some new stuff to get their developers in their community.
Yeah, but competition is always best for us as developers.
yes, yes.
It means that technologies will grow, it will become more stabilized, and for us it's of course less bugs and less pains in future. So.
Sure.
Okay, I think it's time to jump into advantages and disadvantages of React Native.
Why it's good.
Why it's
bad.
good? Yeah.
And why it's bad sometimes.
So let's start about why it's good.
Okay, why the React Native is good is because the obvious reason it covers 2 platforms. You don't need to write code in 2 places. You don't need to write code in iOS and Android separately. You have single code base, and basically it simplifies everything. You don't need to have a huge team like for iOS and Android. You can write just JavaScript and be free.
Be happy about that.
Yes, because you're reducing a lot, basically. This is the main advantage.
And also point is that it's also reducing the testing time because you like... Of course you have like 2 platforms, iOS and Android, but still it's like one code base and it's done in one way. So if you have like bug in iOS, probably you have the same bug in Android sometimes.
Yes, you need to test only one code base.
But what about like the team size? So do I understand you correctly? We need less people for make the same stuff?
Of course, totally. Like previously, when React Native didn't exist, the CEOs had to hire direct teams for iOS development and for Android development, just to cover mobile area.
Yeah.
You know, and right now it's easier to have only one development team that knows JavaScript basically, and you can take it from web developers. They all know JavaScript. They all transfer easily. And after that, it's basically one team for web, and for mobile.
Yeah.
You all stacked.
Yeah. By the way, if you're looking for amazing front-end developers who can do the amazing React Native projects for you, our company, avacodes, me and Ramon and our teammates can help you with that one.
So React Native cannot be perfect.
Of course, it cannot be.
Yes. When we say we try to cover two platforms, we obviously will not cover everything.
Yeah.
Something will be missed. And for your developers, you have to understand that if some use case will occur that React Native do not cover some part of native API, the developers would need to spend extra time to understand new language, basically, because the React Native covers what it has, and what is beside this, they do not cover. Like maybe it's not that significant right now because it's good.
Yeah.
It's 5 years of work, but the use case could be. So there is some possibility for this.
As I remember, you had some kind of that like issue somewhere, and it...
Yes. I had this exact once. I had issue with camera. I had to make a video in square format, and basically I had to write the Swift code myself. Yes.
Okay.
So that's what you gotta do.
Okay. Okay. What maybe other downside of React Native do we have?
Yes. Some of the React Native runs JavaScript, and JavaScript is one-threaded language, which goes into one thread.
Yeah.
With the native, you can achieve multiple threads of your application, and basically it will be faster. So native always will be faster because of this, unless JavaScript changes.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Probably it was maybe the reason why Airbnb was migrated from React Native to
Yeah, they had
native,
technical reasons and also some organizational reasons behind their change.
Okay.
So maybe they could not manage their team because their project really big, and they had to cover all the areas.
Okay.
And I would like to mention that React Native apps a little bit more in size because they use JavaScript as a bridge to communicate to actually native code.
Yeah.
So it's a bit larger than native APIs. So if it's significant for your application, then you should take a note about it.
By the way, if you're not subscribed to the channel, you can do that right now, so you will not miss any other future videos. Okay, so we covered
why it's
cons.
good, why it's bad.
Yeah, why it's good, why it's bad. So it's time to switch to alternatives. If we don't want to use native and we're still looking for some cross-platform to reduce like our development time and maybe don't have like a ton of developers in our team and maybe just few of them, what kind of other possibilities we can come to conclusion?
Well, if you're open to get a team who knows different language, or who, like, you could choose a Flutter, which is a huge competitor of React Native. And also you could choose Ionic. And Ionic will fit for the teams that had more experience with Angular.
Of course, yeah.
Yes, so those are the two main competitors. One thing I don't really know about this technology much, but Microsoft has his own cross-platform framework called Xamarin. So you can choose this one as well. but I would suggest React Native.
Of course, we do. And I just want also to mention that with like Flutter, we'll have that kind of like bad side about that people need to know a Dart, and it's not a lot of people in the market who can like recruit or hire who will code on Dart, and someday if that person will leave, it will be hard for a business to find somebody else to replace them. So, and in JavaScript we have a ton of developers all around, the big community. So I think it's like really advantage of JavaScript itself about that word of JavaScript. So cool. And from my point of view, the summary will be that the React Native will like an amazing fit for startups, like mid-sized companies. But if you like has a lot of traffic into application, like I don't know, million plus users, probably it will be hard for you to make that kind of development, and sometimes you will be struggling with that like really operation system layer where you need to handle that kind of stuff. So, but in general, technology is pretty nice. Facebook made a lot of stuff. And what about some new updates which Facebook team will release in 2020?
So 2020 just started, and they announced some fast reloading.
Cool.
Which is a move to match the speed of a Flutter, I would say. They're trying to reach their speed. And yeah, this is significant for developers because it's been not that good in terms of developing. Like you had to refresh manually a lot of the times. Yeah, but they are announcing this update, and hopefully we'll get some smooth, fast reloading.
Cool. So coming to the end, an amazing technology, a big community in 2020 can be a good choice for you. Think more about advantages, disadvantages, about your team background as well, about maybe your background, because if you had been coding on Angular, probably Ionic will be a better choice for you. So come into all that parts, all pieces, all puzzles into your big picture and decide is React Native a good choice for you or not. Thank you, Ramon, for an amazing interview, for amazing talk with you today. Hope you will be sooner in next videos. Don't forget to subscribe to channel so you will not miss any other amazing videos with Roman and me in future. And talk to you soon and have a nice day.
Thank you for
Thank you,
having me.
Ramon.
I'm so in love with you. You got me down again.